Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Today I'm ranking and reviewing Rubber Soul by a band called the Beatles. And isn't this one of the greatest album covers ever? The Beatles never looked so cool all stretched out. Back cover. Now, this is the US version from the US box set. And in case you don't know, I'm sure most of you do know, the US and Canada had a different version of Rubber Soul. This version started with I've Just Seen a Face, which I think is a perfect opener for Rubber Soul. And then Norwegian Wood, You Won't See Me, Think for Yourself, The Word, and Michelle. And side 2, It's Only Love, which is, of course, from the UK version of Help, as are a couple of other songs. And then Girl, I'm Looking Through You. I wish I could read. In My Life, Wait, and Run for Your Life. So we kind of got ripped off. We don't get as many songs. We don't get 14 songs. But between the UK and US versions, I like the US version, but the UK version's okay too. And I've ranked the songs, the UK version, from my favorite to least favorite here. So let's see. Drive My Car. Oh, I listened to the mono version, and I have listened to the stereo version. I listened to both. And I don't mind the stereo version of this, actually. It's good. Yeah, I have a new appreciation for Drive My Car. That was never one of my favorite Beatles songs, but I love it now, of course. You Won't See Me. I used to feel it kind of dragged a bit, but I liked it. Think for Yourself. I've always gravitated to a lot of George songs, like Don't Bother Me in the past and later songs. And I love Think for Yourself. I love the attitude and Paul's fuzz bass in that song. The Word, I've read that Paul McCartney thinks that's one of the Beatles' lesser songs, but I've always loved it. What Goes On is, of course, Ringo doing his country, and I think it's kind of sweet that the Beatles would do that for Ringo. Ringo, not that John and Paul weren't country fans, but they would do that for Ringo and have him sing lead and nice background vocals and all that. So, In My Life is my favorite song on the album. I think one of the most underrated Beatles songs is Wait. I love the way that John and Paul sing together on that song. And Run for Your Life. Back in 1965, there's a couple of times that death is mentioned in songs on Rubber Soul. And it's, back in when I was young, it was a bit shocking, right? But that being said, a song like Run for Your Life, I'd Rather See You Dead, Little Girl, it would be kind of surprising to hear that. But even being a young kid, I knew, or I figured, that it's just a song. It doesn't mean that John is going to go out and kill a woman, right? And I do know about his past, of course, and he wasn't a perfect person, but he did change. If I Needed Someone is another great George Harrison song. Yeah, so the lyrics for Run for Your Life are, of course, disturbing, but I still love John's vocals and the music, so I'm not going to rate it at the bottom just because of the lyrics. And in my rank, it goes ahead of Help with an A+. So it is now in first place. I would love your thoughts on Rubber Soul, UK or US version. Which one do you prefer? And please like the video, and thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.